Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Friday, April 14. I am Abigail Smythe. Before we get into the news, please like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and your friends.
Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. The police have arrested another man in connection with the suspected multi-million-dollar fraud being investigated at the separate group. He is Ramon Bailey. Bailey, who reportedly resigned from his job at Seprod before investigators closed in, is understood to have then found employment at a popular bakery in Kingston. He was picked up at the bakery Thursday afternoon. Bailey is expected to be charged on Monday. He is the 18th person, all men, held in connection with the $159 million fraud probe. A man was shot and killed while riding his bicycle in Anchovy, St. James Thursday evening. He has been identified as 42-year-old Valro Scott, otherwise called Eagle, and Jenna, a construction worker of Anchovy Meadows. The Anchovy police say about 5:30 p.m. Scott was riding his bicycle along Cotton Tree Heights in Anchovy when he was ambushed and shot multiple times by armed men. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, Scott was discovered with multiple gunshot wounds to the chest, head, and feet. He was taken to Cornwall Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Sentence Bay police are investigating the mob killing of a man said to be a goat thief in Alderton District, Claremont in the parish on Wednesday. The deceased has been identified as 28-year-old Tevin Pinnock, otherwise called Shatty, a laborer of Ramble in St. Thomas and Windward Road, Kingston 2. Reports from the Sentence Bay police are that about 7 p.m., lawmen were summoned to a scene where a man was allegedly mobbed after he tried stealing goats. Upon their arrival, Pinnock was seen with multiple chop wounds all over his body. The female that accompanied him was arrested and taken into custody. The Westmoreland police are investigating two murders committed in the parish on Wednesday. In the first incident, 30-year-old Adrian Miller was killed at Banbury Morgan's Bridge. Reports are that about 6:20 a.m., Miller was riding his bicycle to work when he was attacked by gunmen in a white Toyota Axia motorcar who opened fire, hitting him in the head. The police were alerted and Miller was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. And around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 28-year-old Reynard Palmer was fatally shot at his house at Cottage in Little London. His silver Toyota Axia motorcar was reportedly stolen by his attackers. Investigators recovered 14 spent casings at the scene. The police have arrested another suspect in the brazen daylight attack on the Beryllium security team on March 19 in Portmore, St. Catherine. The man was nabbed in Manchester on Tuesday. Police sources say the man is also a suspect in a murder investigation in the St. Catherine South Division. He is now the 8th person in custody in relation to the multi-million-dollar heist. One man has already been charged with 12 offenses amid the ongoing investigations. He is 24-year-old Shamar Yee of Fairview Park in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. On Sunday, March 19, gunmen attacked the Beryllium courier team servicing a Scotiabank automated teller machine ATM at Brayton Parkway. They shot 4 of the security guards and made off with $23 million in cash. Matthew Hyde, the 20-year-old student accused of torturing his ex-girlfriend in his dorm room at the University of the West Indies, Mona, has been further remanded until May 3. Senior Parish Court Judge Paula Blake Powell said the court has noted that 2 updated medicals for the complainant are in hand and the Crown will be preparing committal proceedings bundles for the next date, which will be served in court. Hyde is being represented by attorneys Peter Champagny KC and Samoy Campbell. Campbell has advised the court that there is a further medical evaluation that should be ready on May 3. Hyde allegedly held his 19-year-old ex-girlfriend captive for 3 days in his room and repeatedly beat and burned her with a clothes iron all over her body after reportedly accusing her of infidelity. Hyde is charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm, malicious communication, and false imprisonment. The Montego Bay Police in St. James have confirmed that the driver who was involved in a motor vehicle accident which claimed the life of a 2-year-old girl in Hendon, Norwood on Wednesday has been warned for prosecution. The toddler has been identified as Tiana Walters, also of Hendon, Norwood. It is reported that about 11:15 a.m., Tiana ran from her father's motor car, which was parked outside their gate, and was hit by a gray Toyota Noah bus, which was traveling along the roadway. She sustained head and body injuries and was rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Residents of Sandside and Trinity Heights in St. Mary are expected to benefit from improved water delivery service following the commissioning of a 100,000 US gallon storage tank. The tank was installed at a cost of $22 million. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Matthew Samuda, commissioned the tank into service during a ceremony for the Sandside storage tank replacement project in Trinity on Thursday.
The Sandside storage tank replacement project in Trinity Heights represents a significant investment in reliable water supply. And we use those words sometimes a little too lightly. But I think it was said earlier. Reliable water supply is the base of human dignity. It is the base of every economy. And it is the base of comfort.
One resident says he is happy about the tank, as they used to only get water once or twice per week and sometimes none for up to 2 weeks.
Well, I'm quite elated. I'm very happy to know that whenever you need the necessity of water, you'll be getting it, and to know that you'll be able to wash and have drinking water more frequent than how it was before.
The tank is one of the 33 water storage tanks that are being refurbished and recommissioned under the program at a total cost of $600 million, and will serve a combined total of 120 accounts with a reach of over 500 people. Minister Samuda noted the significant work that was carried out by the NWC on both small and large water supply systems last year.
Persons should note that last year we deployed hundreds of projects. First time in NWC's history it was able to deploy the number of projects that it did. That impacted 200,000 Jamaicans positively with water. That was $4 billion of work. Now, to give you the scale and an idea of what we're trying to accomplish this year, I can tell you that we are going to deploy $7 billion Jamaican dollars of water projects this year that will further benefit 150,000 Jamaicans, not least of all the residents of St. Mary.
He noted that some of the areas in St. Mary that have benefited from water projects thus far include Shot Pan Corner, Castleton, Islington, Marley, Barclay Town, Fellowship Hall, Maca Hill, White River, and Sandy Hill and Hamilton Mountain. The installation of this tank comes at a crucial time and will assist the NWC in providing significant improvement in water supply reliability and quality from the network. In business, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, is projecting that there could be further tightening of monetary policy around the world as wages and employment have not declined much despite higher interest rates. The IMF says central banks will have to continue prioritizing stability. It notes that while central banks had to take action in a bid to stem inflation over the last year, the tight monetary policy over a short period of time is starting to affect the global financial sector. And on the foreign exchange market, the Canadian dollar's buying rate is $111.60, while the selling rate is $114.63. Buying rate for the Great Britain pound is $186.60, while the selling rate is $191.72. The US dollar's buying rate is $151.43, while the selling rate is $153.24. In the region, the United Nations and its partners are to launch an appeal for $720 million to support more than 3 million people in Haiti. Gangs, hunger, and cholera have plunged nearly half the population of the French-speaking CARICOM country into humanitarian need. The 2023 funding appeal is the largest for the Caribbean country since the devastating 2010 earthquake and more than double the amount requested last year. The UN Humanitarian Affairs Office says the number of Haitians who require aid to survive doubled over the past 5 years to 5.2 million, and the aim is to reach 60% or 3.2 million people. And on the international scene, the UK economy saw no growth in February after being hit by the effects of strikes by public sector workers. The Office for National Statistics said a rise in construction activity had been offset by walkouts by teachers and civil servants. It follows a surprise 0.4% jump in economic growth in January. Despite February's flat performance, the Chancellor said the economic outlook was brighter than expected and the UK was set to avoid recession. It was noted that GDP, the measure of economic growth, had grown by 0.1% in the 3 months to February. And in sports, Premier League leaders Cavalier were held to a 1-1 draw by Mount Pleasant FC in their first leg quarter-final match in the JFF Link Cup knockout competition on Thursday. The 2021 champions Cavalier opened the scoring in the 50th minute through a Ronaldo Webster strike, but a Tafaroy Bygrave with 2 goals in 2 games evened things up to the 80th minute to put the Centon-based team back in the tie. Meanwhile, defending Premier League champions Harbourview were held to a 1-1 draw by Chapelton Maroons. Elsewhere, Portmore United and Tivoli Gardens have put one foot into the semi-finals of the competition following wins in their first leg quarter-final matches on Wednesday. Portmore United put themselves in a strong position heading into the second leg after a 2-1 win over Malines United. Earlier, Tivoli Gardens beat Dunbeholden 2-0 to give themselves some breathing room heading into next Thursday's second leg. And that's it for your news roundup for today and for this week. Before we go, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and your friends. I am Abigail Smythe. Have a great weekend and see you next time.
Teach them! Hey, yo, hello! Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them. Right here, Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Like the video before you go. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. And remember to share the video with your friends and family. And browse the channel for more quality content. Until next time, walk good, my friends.
Teach them!